Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. This is really an exciting day. I want to welcome you all to what will be a first-of-its-kind park, or soon to be. So, most of you know me. My name's Bob Blumenfield. I am the city council member. I represent this area. This area, which will be known soon as Caballero Creek Park. Yay! It will be the first self-sustaining park in the city of Los Angeles. What does that mean, you ask? It will capture water from on and off site, clean it on site, and then irrigate the park using solar to do it. All sustained. So when the apocalypse happens, this park will still be rock and rolling. That's a simple explanation. Unfortunately, hasn't been simple to get here. It has been a long road. That's why it's taken a little longer than a normal park to get started. A few bumps along the way. But we, as you can see, are digging dirt today. You'll see this park ultimately beautifully landscaped, river connected, outdoor classroom of a park within a year. Most are saying it'll be about 9 months, so we had a choice. We could either make a baby or we could make a park, and we chose let's make a park. Now, creating it took a lot of different entities and a lot of time. And so this park was definitely, plagued by bureaucracy, starting with the Army Corps of Engineers, required additional reviews. Those of you who know the Army Corps of Engineers, they are sort of the penultimate bureaucracy. They make the DMV look like a tech startup. But there were so many entities, Regional Water Quality Board, the feds, the state, the county, just to get them to agree is in some ways harder than even building this park. So it's not an easy undertaking, but when you're doing something important, something that matters, you make it happen. And everyone here really has been tenacious in making it happen. So that's what we're celebrating today. We're figuring out what parks will look like for the next generation. It takes long because this is a first, but it's not a last. We're literally trailblazing. You're going to see other parks follow suit. The first project, as I mentioned, to utilize water source to come in and out and then go back. There were 7 different funding sources to make this happen. 7. Your city covered 23% of the construction costs, 14% of the total project. And I really want to thank some of the people who were just dogged, starting with Sarah Kevorkian, project manager for the Mountains Recreation Conservation Authority, worked closely with John Popach in my office, my team, really to keep this project rolling. I especially want to thank someone, my mentor, former boss. For those of you who don't realize, I used to work for the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy Mountain Recreation Conservation Authority. And I really got my love of parks and cutting through bureaucracy from Joe. And Joe is an inspiration and really helped make this thing happen. Without him, this project would not be here. Our wonderful head of the Bureau of Sanitation and my friend, Barbara Romero, also a former MRCA person. Joe has seeded the Los Angeles area with former MRCAs, part of the magic of the success. And then the head of our City Rec and Parks Department, Jimmy Kim. He's hit the ground running and doing an amazing job. Our inspiration and determined Public Board of Works president, who is leaving, but I wanted to make sure she spoke, as this is her last official event, Aura Garcia, and her colleagues on the board, Teresa Villegas, who knows the river like the back of her hand. And of course, we'd be nowhere without the support of the surrounding community. Our Tarzana Neighborhood Council, let's give it up for them. We have Len Schaefer, Iris Polanski, Susan Rogan, Susan Lord, Chris Ahuja, Terry Saucier, and the rest of the team. And it takes a village and it takes a supportive community. And the Tarzana Neighborhood Council has really just been supportive since day one on this. And of course, our neighbors right here who live in these houses and in this nearby community. Sometimes people, when they see something new being built, they say, no, not in my backyard, and they get concerned about. These neighbors were saying, this is going to be great. Let's bring it on. Let's work together. Let's make something special here. And I want to, led by my friend Rob Moline over there, whose house is just right over there. So this is a great moment, folks. You can see the work happening around us, and soon you'll see this lot transformed into something that really you couldn't imagine. So I want to make sure everyone looks at the poster boards, the renderings, and really, and listens to the speakers who are going to help describe that vision.
Good morning. Thank you. And I was talking to a couple of the neighbors, and I said I wanted to come up here and say thank you for your patience. And I think because when you're transforming a place like this, when over a decade ago, when we were looking at this place, even before the council member became, before he became a council member, we were looking at the site as a possibility, as a potential place. But when he got elected, it became a possibility that we can convert this old facility that those of you who remember was just a place where we had the city had equipment. We just had a bunch of stuff that was abandoned, that wasn't needed here at this facility, and it was all concrete. And so in re-envisioning that takes a lot of time, and like Joe said, because it takes a lot of different players and you're trying to reimagine how a place can be converted and utilizing all the new sustainability techniques to not only use biological but also some low tech ways to improve the water quality while you're also providing community and environmental benefits. It requires a lot of permitting, so it requires a lot of convincing people that that it could be an integrated approach and that it doesn't have to be a linear project. Because of that, this took a little longer, but I think in my humble experience, once this happens and you get all the permits, this part of it, and staff is agreeing that this is the easy part, because now it just building it out, because a lot of the hard work has been done. So I'm here to say congratulations, and also want to say thank you to the neighbors, and thank you to all the staff at all levels. I know at sanitation, when I came here, I had already loved this project because I worked on it. So staff, came to brief me about it, and they said, yeah, there's this project and this, and it was kind of like, because they were going to ask me, like, we have to take this on and we have no resources, we have to figure out how we're going to do it. And I'm like, we just have to do it. It's one of these projects that like I learned from from Joe, and I know the council member too, is that from decades from now, like generation, where this is going to be for future generations, they're not going to remember of all the little hurdles that we had to experience and live through. They're just going to see a wonderful space that contributes to the community, enhances the community, but also helps in addressing some of our water resilience goals that we have for the city. And this is going to be one of many. And so I'm just so excited to be part of it, an integral part of it. And I want to thank my staff, Kevin Ho, Ida Messamini, and Michael Scoduto, and with the leadership of Julie Allen. And just want to say I can't wait to come, before the next baby is born. And I'll come through here to see the progress, and come over here and cheer, staff when they're here, because it does take a village to build these, transformational projects. And I'm just delighted to be part of this again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barbara. You talk about sustainable projects. I know so many of you have been involved. Susanna Reyes, good friend a long time, has been involved in so many sustainable projects. It really is amazing. Our next speaker is, as I mentioned before, the president of the Board of Public Works. Let's give it up for Aura Garcia.
Good morning, everyone. Let me see if I think I'm gonna have to do the tippy-toe thing here. Okay, I'll do the best. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Council Member, for your leadership and your vision to bring open spaces to the Valley, especially here in Reseda. We do appreciate that. I also do live here in the Valley as well. Okay, I don't have to do tippy toes anymore. Well, good morning again, everyone. My name is Aura Garcia, and I serve as the president of the Board of Public Works. And it's such a pleasure to be here today along the side of our Bureau of Sanitation, the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority, Rec and Parks with Jimmy Kim, and of course, Council District 3. And I also want to give a special shout out to my colleague on the board, Commissioner Susan Reyes, who is also very part of anything that has to do with sustainability. I always turn around and look at her and see, hey, what do we do here? So thank you, Commissioner, for being here this morning. Together with the common goal of creating an environmental, beneficial, and community space, that was our goal, to make sure that this happens, even 13 years ago when I was not on the board, but that has been a consistent goal for the Board of Public Works, to make sure that we provide the support, the resources, and anything we can to build open spaces and community spaces is really important to us. These type of projects are not easy because they incorporate many elements, including the capturing of cleaning of stormwater that will then be used to irrigate the park. How cool is that? I just want to say, isn't that super cool? And I know council member said something like that, but there's another park like this in another part of the city that captures also the water and irrigates its own park. But here, we're going to be at net zero. And not only that, here we're going to do it by using solar panels, which has never been used before in a park. So this is an amazing technology. It's like bringing everything together. The tech part that we've now used, the environmental, and really the love and passion of having open spaces open to the community. And that is really what the Board of Public Works is so proud to partner with all of our partners here. When this project is completed, it will become a resource to clean and protect our water. It will also be an educational opportunity and outdoor space for the community to enjoy. I really hope that the students from Reseda High School take advantage of this and really understand what BioSolve is, what it is to capture water, how to recycle water, and how to basically maintain and be self-sustainable. And I hope that this teaching and this educational piece here, it becomes a component of the high school and for many other schools around here. I saw some, I think there was a child care around here. Maybe that child care could, use this as a field trip site. All those things are so important in a community like this, and we're just so happy to be part of it as well. Under the Board of Public Works, we run the River Rangers program, where we clean, beautify, and maintain the public paths, trails, and communities along the LA River. I want to give a special shout out to my colleague also, Roman Rodriguez, who oversees this project. And just this week, I believe it was Monday, we were kayaking at the Sepulveda Basin here on the LA River. And if you haven't done that, you should do that, because it's not just about learning how to kayaking, but it's about the entire educational ecosystem that you learn while you're doing that. And so I just want to thank Chief Fernando Gomez, right, who led our tour on Monday. And it was an absolutely way to really build passion and love for the LA River. So thank you for the Mountain Conservancy for doing that. Our priority is to help LA River be more accessible to LA residents, but we also need your help, of course, in making sure that we maintain our areas, our open spaces clean, away from litter and trash. As you know, it goes into the river and it just causes multiple issues after that. So we try not to have litter dumped into the LA River. I'll close by saying this. Thank you to everyone involved in making this park come to fruition. I can't wait to see it finished in 2025. And as a resident in 2025 of the city of LA, I'll make sure to stop by and enjoy this beautiful space that we are now going to have here in the Valley. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Aura. Next, we are going to hear, we're really honored to have the General Manager of Recreation and Parks here with us today. So, Jimmy, thank you so much for coming, and come on up and say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jimmy Kim. I'm the General Manager of the Department of Recreation and Parks. I'm very excited to be here as we kick off and groundbreak for the Caballero Creek Park project. As the stewards of our park system, we know that parks are more than just green spaces. They are spaces where they bring in community, they make the community healthy and vibrant, and these are places where we create long-lasting memories for our youth as well as the community. It's just icing on the top to have such innovative thinking in including environmental goals and sustainability initiatives in this very innovative park that we're building. So I want to start thanking very important city partners and community members that was helping in developing and starting and kicking off this process. So first off, I want to thank Councilmember Blumenfield and his staff. I want to thank him for his continued support of our park system and really thinking innovatively and integrating cutting-edge technology and sustainable practices as we kind of move forward and build additional parks. Thank you. I also wanted to thank our partner over at the sanitation department, General Manager Barbara Romero and her team that's representing here. Thank you for all your efforts. I've seen many emails go back and forth between the sanitation department, public works, rec and parks, and the council office to get this forward. So I'm super excited to be here talking, because that means all the work that we did to get us here we made it happen. Thank you. Again, my partner over at Public Works, the president of the Board of Public Works, Ms. Aura Garcia, and her team that's here today. I'm going to miss you, but I know that as a resident of the Valley and the city of LA, one way, one form or another, we'll know that she's going to be around, and we'll see her face in some of our events and always part of the city. So thank you. I've been general manager for 2 years now, and I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Joe Emiston when we were talking about the LA River conservation projects down by the LA River down in downtown LA. And you have just been an inspiration as a new general manager on what the possibilities of expanding green space can be. So thank you for your efforts, and I'm looking forward to continue to work with you in expanding green space in the city of Los Angeles. And you know, it is a truly amazing thing when you could get community to support parks like these, and you know, Councilmember Blumenfield said it right. When you have neighbors that are supportive, these initiatives move faster and quicker, and good things could happen. So thank you to the community members that are represented here, as well as the Tarzana Neighborhood Council. Thank you for your support, not only for this park, but also the rest of the park systems. So we look forward to celebrating the opening of this park, hopefully within 9 months, dare I say, to be here to cut the ribbon and have this amazing amenity for the community to share. And so thank you for all of your support, and we will see you in 9 months.
Yeah, Joe was asking, I'm going to get in that Caterpillar. I think that's part of the program. We definitely got to get this digging going. But first, a few more speakers. You mentioned the Tarzana Neighborhood Council has been an amazing partner. We have several council members here, and representing the Neighborhood Council, we have Terry Saucier.
Hi, thank you. My name is Terry Saucier on behalf of the Tarzana Neighborhood Council and my fellow board members who are here today. We are honored to help celebrate the groundbreaking of Caballero Creek Park, and excited it will be located here in Tarzana. We'd like to thank Councilmember Bob Blumenfield, his Deputy Chief of Staff, John Popovich, Los Angeles Sanitation, the Department of Rec and Parks, the Board of Public Works, and the Mountain Recreation and Conservation Authority for all of their hard work, expertise, and dedication to designing the city's first self-sustaining park. The concept of a park in this location was presented to the Tarzana Neighborhood Council by Councilmember Blumenfield's office years ago, and it was to be a Tarzana's link to the Los Angeles River Revitalization Project. However, we never could have imagined how the plans would develop to include the many sustainable features, such as capturing water on and off-site and using solar to produce clean water to irrigate the park. We also appreciate that one of the important objectives of this project is to have a place where residents of Tarzana, students from Reseda High, and residents of surrounding communities can learn about water reclamation and conservation, something that continues to grow in importance due to the effects of climate change. In addition to the park's many sustainable features and benefits, it will also provide a much-needed play and recreation space for the community. This project is a wonderful example of what can be accomplished when LA City departments and organizations like the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority collaborate to benefit the community and our environment. We thank you for your vision.
Thank you, Terry. And you talk about the community. We also want to talk about the hyper-local community. And with that, I want to bring Rob Moline up for a word. As I mentioned, he is an immediate neighbor, one of the neighbors that you see right along the way here. Rob.
Well, thank you. I've not prepared any remarks, but I do want to be here and give my overreaching support for this project. Councilman, you and your staff, John, just been fabulous in providing leadership, not just for this park, but for other projects throughout the city. And I personally hope you're here and doing this sort of work for a long, long time to come. I moved into my home, which is adjacent to the park, 36 years ago. And from the beginning, I looked at this space and I thought, what a waste. This should be a park. And finally, after all these years, to be able to see it come to fruition is just terrific. Working with Sarah of the MRDC and ironing out some of the details has just been a pleasure, and I'm just thrilled that this is coming about. Finally, in conclusion, I do want to say that for anyone here who is doubting the relevancy and the beauty of this future park, change is difficult. From the gray in my beard, I've been around for a while. I'm looking forward to my grandchildren coming here from Colorado, enjoying this park, and for many generations to come. I couldn't thank all of you enough. Just terrific work. Keep it going.
It's a perfect segue. You mentioned Sarah Kevorkian, project manager of this, will be our last speaker. And she's dealt in and can talk about some of the real details of this project. Sarah, welcome.
Hello. Hi, my name is Sarah Kevorkian, and I have the pleasure to represent the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority in managing this park project. So I'm so grateful to be standing here today, and to be honest, over the past 5 years or so, I've wondered if this day would ever come, but we're here. There are several ways I like to actually measure the age of this project. The first being the initial grant that the MRCA received from the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy 12 years ago. So this would make this project nearly a teenager. But you've heard this project has, the community's been waiting for this project for many years, and it's surely an understatement to recognize the community's support when the teams engage with them closely on the park design elements and their patience throughout the many years. Thank you to the neighbors and community members, Tarzana Neighborhood Council, who have shared this vision of transforming this lot into a beautiful green haven. But why has this project taken us this long, you may ask? In case you haven't heard, we're building the first self-sustaining park. Caballero Creek Park will be a novel and unique project, taking water from the creek, from the adjacent street, recycling it on-site using solar panel. I won't go through the details once again, but we are very excited if you can't tell. Not only will we be turning this lot into a beautiful green refuge with 44 new trees, abundant native plants, and opportunities for native habitat, creating public access to this space that has not been public for so long, we will inspire many more Caballero Creek parks throughout the city for very many years to come. This beautiful park to be would be an impossible concept if it wasn't for Councilmember Bobblumenfield, who's been this park's absolute champion. Thank you so much for that. And I also want to thank Mr. John Poposh, who's been a teammate in all of this. Really, if it wasn't for you, Bob, and your team, this project wouldn't be happening. I'd also like to thank Barbara Romero, not for getting this project started, not only for that, but for sustaining your support through the many years. And for your team, we look forward to working with you. We keep praising the project for its technical novelty, but I want to highlight the complex and unique partnerships we've developed and created with the MRCA, City Recreation and Parks, LA Sanitation Departments, I think it was over a decade ago that MRCA saw an opportunity to turn this lot into an accessible, publicly accessible, green, lush space for the community to enjoy. And we have since worked side by side with City Recreation and Parks and Sanitation, and I thank you so much for that, and looking forward to continuing to work with you on similar projects for many years to come. Finally, on behalf of the MRCA, I want to recognize a very special place that we're standing right now. If you didn't know, the Caballero Creek, which just runs right behind us before it joins the LA River, is the only tributary to the LA River that comes from the Santa Monica Mountains. And this is something very significant to both the MRCA and the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, because we're so passionate about creating a resilient LA River and preserving our Santa Monica Mountains. So we're right here where our two missions come together. I thank you all for coming and celebrating this incredible achievement. And I hope that in the next year we can come back here and it'll be a little cooler with all the trees, right? Thank you so much. And as Joe always says, onward and upward. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, so this concludes our formal program. We're going to take a picture with everyone here who wants to be in the picture, all the speakers, community members. And then we bought 24 donuts and a bunch of coffee, so nobody gets to leave until they've consumed the coffee and the donuts, because we don't want any, or take them home or something. We don't want to waste any of that. So thank you all for coming for this exciting progress on the park, and we're gonna see you in about 9 months when this is looking completely different. In the meantime, let's all pose for a little photo and just enjoy, drink coffee, eat donuts, etc. In front of the podium.
Give a thumbs up, please.